More trouble off the field at Georgia. Is it going to cost Kirby Smart a championship? Locked On SEC starts right now.
You are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome into Locked On SEC. It's great to have you guys along. On today's show, we'll talk about that latest drama over at Georgia. We'll also bring you the next couple of interviews from SEC Media Days. Our last player interviews, you'll hear from LSU tight end Mason Taylor and Kentucky linebacker De'Eric Jackson. I'm Chris Gordy. Thanks for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Shout out to everydayers for free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as we get into the summer months. FanDuel, hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com today to get started. All right, let's do it. Let's dive into it. Let's go around the conference. And we start over at Georgia as, my goodness, if you missed it on Friday, another off the field issue with a Georgia player. This time, Georgia wide receiver Rara Thomas arrested on Friday morning, booked into the Athens Clarke County Jail on one felony charge of second-degree cruelty to children and two misdemeanor charges of family violence battery. According to a team source, Thomas was suspended indefinitely by head coach Kirby Smart. No bond was listed for Thomas, but it was reportedly his second run-in with the law in Athens after transferring from Mississippi State. January of last year, Athens police arrested him on a felony charge of false imprisonment and a misdemeanor charge of family violence. Thomas was expected to be a big-time pass catcher for Georgia this year. Last year, he caught 23 passes for 383 yards and a touchdown, played in 11 games. Georgia Executive Associate AD for Strategic Communications, Stephen Drummond, issued a statement saying it's a pending legal matter and we will have no comment at this time. Athens Clarke County Police, in their report, said at approximately 1:34 a.m. on Friday morning, they responded to a domestic violence call. Upon their preliminary investigation, he was charged with 2 counts of family violence battery, 1 count of cruelty to children, second degree, booked into Clarke County Jail, but due to the nature of the investigation involving a juvenile victim, the rest of the report not releasable. Now, according to the Athens Banner-Herald, Thomas's other legal issues include being cited by Athens police 3 times for traffic-related incidents this offseason, as recent as July 11th. One citation had him going 73 in a 40-mile-per-hour zone in his Mustang. Reports say it happened on the same street where Devin Willock and Chandler LaCroix were killed in that high-speed crash in January of last year. Thomas was also cited for doing 86 in a 65 back in February and for running a red light back on January 2nd. On Sunday, Kirby Smart's Twitter account, which normally really only does 2 things if you follow it. He tweets "Go Dogs" when they get a commitment and tweets happy birthday messages to current players. Well, Kirby's Twitter account on Sunday tweeted happy birthday to Rara Thomas. Of course, this was 2 days after the arrest happened, and Smart's account has since deleted the original message, but of course, a lot of folks having fun with that on social media. Of course, we assume Kirby probably doesn't run that account himself, somebody else helping handle it, but even if he designed the specific post for Thomas, it was likely scheduled and put in place days or weeks in advance. But Georgia has had at least 29 arrests or citations for speeding, reckless driving, or racing since that crash that killed Willock and LaCroix last year. Kirby Smart did address citations and arrests last week at SEC Media Days in Dallas. He said some suspensions for players involved in these incidents will be coming, but he didn't detail what they were. He also said players received substantial fines of their NIL payments by the Classic City Collective. We had Michael Williams on last week, and we asked him about it. He confirmed that. Said, yeah, they take money away from you. You don't want to lose that money, so you want to take care of business and stay out of trouble. Backup safety David Daniel Sisavan was charged with reckless driving back in February, led police on a pursuit in Atlanta after making multiple lane changes at high speed. He was dismissed from the team. So, Kirby, you wonder, is he going to start really just laying down the law with this stuff? He did say players are educated regularly about the dangers of high-speed driving. He said, quote, anytime you have situations like that, you want your players to make better decisions. I always say you can't be outcome-related. I'm very disappointed in the outcomes, but very pleased with our process we put in terms of education, driver safety, requiring defensive driving, and education. In addition to the other driving citations for Rara Thomas, the Athens Banner-Herald learned about other speeding incidents in Texas, or rather in Georgia, that brought citations or warnings. Defensive back Jonel Aguero was cited in Barrow County for going 92 in a 65 in July of last year. He was also cited for speeding along with defensive back Justin Rhett in February in Athens, racing in and out of traffic. Wide receiver Zacoby White, he was warned for going 89 to 70 back on July 3rd and cited for having a cell phone in his lap. He was previously arrested for reckless driving and driving the wrong way in Athens back on May 18th and for speeding back in March. On May 1st of this year, wide receiver Anthony Evans was driving a Chevy Camaro at 104 miles per hour in a 70 mile per hour zone southwest of Atlanta. And outside linebacker Quintavious Johnson was warned for going 94 to 65 in Atlanta back in May. I just don't know what it is. Like, again, maybe I sound like an old guy here, but like, what's the deal with the racing and speeding? I mean, look, you're running late for an appointment. I get it. You're running late for class. Oh my God, practice starts. I woke up late. I got to hurry up and get there. Okay. Those you give it a pass. But a lot of these are happening in the evening. A lot of these are going 30, 40 miles per hour over the speed limit. And we have a teammate die in a car crash in a similar incident just a year and a half ago. You would think it would have sent the message and guys would have shaped up, but goodness, it just continues to be a problem. And I've had people ask me, is this going to cost Georgia a shot of a championship? I don't think so. I mean, they're 5 deep at every position, so they should be fine. But man, at what point does Kirby just say, you mess up again, you're off the team? Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, you're out. How many more guys do we have to get busted for speeding? Again, I've had some Georgia folks tell me the Athens Clark County police are very, like crossing boundaries of what other counties would do in terms of just, like other counties would just give you a warning or whatever. So I get it. They're trying to bust down on this, but they're doing it. Don't speed. Don't race. Silly. All right, we got some other football-related stuff to get to here. A few other Georgia notes. Georgia is expected to name Mark Robinson as the Bulldogs' new director of football operations, stealing him away from Florida. Robinson comes to Athens from Florida, where he was tabbed the Gators' chief of staff in January of this year. He'll replace Nealon Raper, who is headed to work in the league office for the Big 12. Before Florida, Mark Robinson spent 6 seasons at Texas A&M as an associate AD for football. He's expected to have similar duties to those of his new job in Georgia. Also, Georgia going to begin preseason camp without sophomore defensive lineman Jordan Hall, dealing with an injury, suffered a fracture of some sort in his lower leg that'll cause him to miss the next few weeks. Several people saying he should be healthy and ready to go by the start of the football season, but he was expected to be is expected to be a big rotational piece on this D line, along with Nazir Stackhouse, Warren Brinson, Kristen Miller. Recruiting news for Georgia. 4-star linebacker Jaden Perlott is expected to flip. He has been in the fold with Georgia for 2 years now. One of the top linebackers in the class of 2025. 6'3", 200 pounds, number 14 linebacker, number 18 player from the state of Georgia, according to On3 Sports. He is expected to flip his commitment to USC to go play out west for the Southern Cal Trojans. So we'll see what happens there with him. Other news and notes going on around the conference. At Auburn, 4-star Saraland defensive lineman Antonio Coleman is set to be an Auburn Tiger again after flipping from Alabama again. Coleman visited Auburn's Big Cat weekend recruiting event on Saturday, and he is back to the orange and blue. In-state rivalry really taking its toll on this young man. His junior season at Saraland in 2023 had 62 tackles, 22 and a half tackles for a loss and 4 sacks. But he was committed to Auburn, then he flipped to Bama. Then he flipped to Auburn again. In rejoining Auburn's 2025 class, he becomes the 5th commitment during Big Cat weekend, joining fellow 2025 member Blake Woodby, a 4-star corner out of Baltimore, and several other 2026 commits. But Auburn's 2025 class currently stands 18 commits and ranked number 12 in the country, according to 24/7. Auburn did also land the commitment of the number 2 punter in the country, John Allen McGuire, rated by Coles as one of the best punters in the country. Auburn also picked up their first blue chip prospect of the 2026 class with the commitment of 4-star edge rusher Hezekiah Harris, announcing his commitment. Speaking of the class of 2026, Georgia picked up defensive back Jontavius Wyman over the weekend, number 7 DB in the class of 2026, joining quarterback Jared Curtis in that class. Over at Tennessee, they are working on their recruiting. On Sunday, they picked up a flip in Dason Brame, B-R-A-M-E, Brame, however you want to say it. 4-star tight end out of Kansas. He's 6'6", 235 pounds. He was originally committed to Oregon, and now he has flipped his commitment to Knoxville. But that currently 24/7 Sports Composite has the Vols with the number 5 recruiting class in the country. Ranks 4th in the SEC behind Alabama, Georgia, and LSU. Vols currently have the best recruiting class in the country for any team without a 5-star player currently committed. Over to LSU, Paul Feinbaum was on First Take on Friday and was previewing some of the upcoming college football games, and he talked about the week 1 non-conference game between USC and LSU in Las Vegas as a game to keep an eye on. He said that it's set for a Sunday night broadcast and will be all eyes on that one as the SEC versus the Big Ten now. USC going from the Pac-12 over to the Big Ten. And Paul Feinbaum said, look, the loser better watch out. He said, we're talking about LSU and USC in Vegas. I think we've hashed out the Lincoln Riley situation ad nauseum, but imagine losing that game. Of course, Lincoln Riley getting a lot of heat because, look, he made the playoffs a lot at Oklahoma, but defense stunk. And since he's gotten to USC, his defense has stunk. Well, Feinbaum went on to say, I know everyone thinks I waved the flag of the SEC, but I just happen to work for the SEC network. But Brian Kelly, he better win that game. He's done a really nice job, but he left Notre Dame a couple years ago to try to win a national championship. And last year, the losses started to pile up with a terrible defense. And, oh, by the way, they lost each of their last season openers the last 2 years against Florida State. Can't do that again in this spot against USC. And in a college basketball note, Arkansas has landed their first big piece of John Calipari's 2025 recruiting class. Darius Acuff, a 5-star point guard, number 10, top 10 overall recruit, plays for IMG Academy, 6'3", 180 pounds. The highest ranked prospect in the class of 2025, currently committed to a school. The number 1 point guard in this cycle, number 8 overall prospect. So we know Calipari's done a great job of getting players to come. At Kentucky, just got to develop them, and we'll see what he's able to do that over at Arkansas. And one more note here over at Texas, not trying to be TMZ here, but Steve Sarkisian announced over the weekend he and his wife L'Oreal are filing for divorce. The couple shared the news in a joint announcement on Instagram. They were married in 2020 while he was the OC at Alabama. They moved to Austin when he took the Texas job. So just passing that news along to you guys. All right, coming up next, we will get you a couple of our player interviews we did not bring you yet, including LSU tight end Mason Taylor. That is coming your way here in just a second. Thank you guys for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. First, want to remind you guys, this episode brought to you by our friends over at Ibotta. Are you taking that dream vacation this summer but dreading the cost? With Ibotta, you get cash back on all of your purchases, so you can spend more time making memories this summer and less time dreaming about them. Ibotta is a free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. Earn on hundreds of items from groceries to beauty supplies, even toys, so you can make sure you are beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. That could cover the cost of an entire shopping trip, that flight you've been eyeing, or a fancy dinner you've been craving. Other apps give you points that don't amount to much. With Ibotta, you earn cash back that you can withdraw to your bank account, PayPal, or gift card. Simply add offers in the app, upload your receipt, and voila, the money is yours. You can save on over 2,400 brands, shop at over 1,000 retailers, including your favorite grocery stores, Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. It's time you join the over 50 million users who use Ibotta to earn cash back every time they shop. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying them out by using our code LOCKEDONCollege when you register. Go to the App Store, Google Play Store, download the free Ibotta app, start earning cash back, and use our code LOCKEDONCollege. That's Ibotta, IBOTTA, in the Google Play or App Store. Use that code LOCKEDONCollege. This episode also brought to you by friends over at Factor Meals. Warmer, sunnier days are here. Fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals all throughout this summer thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you kickstart that new healthy routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 different meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to try out. Crush your wellness goals with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients that you can trust. Make your day delicious. From breakfast to dessert, stay fueled with easy, nutritious options and treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes. No shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle. Choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage your calories, maximize your protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com, FACTOR meals.com/LockedOnCollege50 and use code LockedOnCollege50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That is code LockedOnCollege50 at factormeals.com/LockedOnCollege50. Get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active. That's Factor Meals. Continue on here from SEC Media Days and sitting with a guy who has made an impact almost as soon as he stepped foot on campus at LSU. He is tight end Mason Taylor. Mason, welcome in, man. How are you?
Thank you. Good. I'm good.
Is this a little crazy to be taking part of all this, being part of the media world here and making all the rounds talking about yourself and LSU and everything?
Yeah, it's definitely a great opportunity. I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to be one of the chosen to represent LSU, and I'm glad to be here meeting new people.
That's a national stage here, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a little different from just doing the media grind with 4 radio or 4 TV stations in Baton Rouge, right?
Yes, sir. It is way different. Yep.
Talk a little bit about your evolution. We mentioned that you come in and play almost immediately. We know how Brian Kelly, I mean, everywhere he's been, particularly at Notre Dame, the tight end's always a big part of the offense. How ready were you stepping in and saying, you know what, some guys wait their freshman year, wait their time, but you were ready to go from the get-go?
Yeah, I was just ready to be coached. I came in with open ears and open arms, and I think Coach Denbrock, when I first came in, and Coach Kelly and Salone, they all helped me be the player I am today, and they helped me get that jump start that I needed, and they saw that I could help our offense, and I took advantage of the opportunity.
What's been the biggest, adjustment for you? Obviously, as a pass catcher, we know how good you could be. Has it been run blocking? Like, what's the biggest thing you've had to work on with your game?
I think with the big guys in the SEC, I would say running blocking. I like to work on every part of my game. I like to get better at something every single day, but I think run blocking is definitely very important, especially in the SEC. You got these big defensive ends. I'm only 250 pounds. They could be 280, 290, so it could be pretty hefty. So working on those skills and all that would definitely make me a better player.
And once you open up the hole, I mean, Caleb Jackson will just bust through and run over guys anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they make my job easier.
It is interesting. I mean, we think back to your name and just the iconic moment, obviously beating Alabama a couple years ago. Is that still, I mean, you go back and rewatch the clip and say, like, how surreal that moment was, catching the 2 point?
Yeah, that was such an unreal moment. I think that was a great experience to have in college, especially my freshman year, to kind of boost you in that confidence, because in this league you're nothing without confidence in the SEC, because everyone's good and you need that confidence in order to boost you to be better than others.
You know, I was talking with Garrett Nussmeier just a couple minutes ago and asking about the expectations of playing quarterback at LSU now. The skill guys, I got to believe those expectations are on you guys as well. I mean, Malik's gone, Brian's gone, but they've got you, they've got Kyron as well. I mean, just what is it like playing with those types of expectations?
Yeah, we got some doors to fill in and holes to fill in our offense, but I think not much has changed. We have a great receiver room and great tight end room, and I think we can fill those gaps and with those opportunities, and we can make plays.
And for you as well, I mean, you know, obviously your dad, he did it. You saw what it takes in order to play this game at a high level. Yep. How much of an advantage is that for you, of knowing even before you stepped on campus, like, this is how you're supposed to do this is how you're supposed to do that, this is how you prepare?
Yeah, it's a great experience to have and a great learning tab to have. I think learning from my dad and my uncle has made me the man I am today. I mean, people could say I matured faster than others. It's because I know, and I come from a family with football, and I know the in and outs of football. So,
you talk about the offense. You know, we talked with Garrett about, you know, normally you bring in a new offense coordinator, there's a lot of adjustment, but how similar is what Coach Sloan and Coach Hankton want to do from what Coach Denbrock did? I got to think there's a lot of similarities, same terminology, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's not much change. They make it easy on us. Coach Hankton and Coach Sloan did a great job coming in for spring and kind of putting together a technology and all that stuff that we can learn from in terminology. I think they did a great job of coming in and making it a smooth transition for sure. And
it was nice to have the bowl game too, with them kind of running the show. Look, everybody wanted to see Jaden play one more game, but it was nice to give Garrett kind of the jump start on being the guy this year, right? And kind of developing that continuity. It looked pretty darn good out there.
Yeah, I mean, you could see, like I was telling other people, I was like, he sat the whole season patiently waiting, and he gets that one opportunity for a bowl game, and he runs with it. He does a great job in the bowl game. Imagine him playing every single game, gaining momentum from his teammates and all that stuff. It's exciting to see for sure.
Does Coach Kelly help coach the tight end? I mean, I feel like his track record of tight ends and getting them to the league and all that, how much does he spend help coaching the tight ends? Not one-on-one, but like lending his voice to the tight end room.
Yeah, he walks around in the whole practice field. He lends his voice in whenever it's needed, either defense, offense. He's given us a lot of great tips on what he's seen in the past, and with a guy like that, with that type of experience, it's really important that you listen and open up your ears to him.
Now, I've heard he's actually got a sense of humor. I've heard him yelling out there and stuff, but I've heard Coach Kelly's actually got a little bit of sense of humor. Is that what you've seen?
No, yeah, 100%. He's got a little goofy side to him. It's funny, yep.
And some jokes that maybe go over your head sometimes. Yeah, I didn't realize that was a joke.
Yeah, some of them, yep.
Yeah, talking with Mason Taylor, LSU tight end, and man, it's crazy to think like this offense, as good as it was last year, can perhaps be even better. But these days in the SEC, I mean, you guys had Oklahoma and Texas to the conference. Now, luckily, you only have to play one of them. You get Oklahoma at the end of the year, but it's just going to make this conference even tougher, right?
Yeah, I think it's great for the conference. I think the competitiveness in the conference is exceeding, and I think it's going to be exciting to see. They're both two great teams, Texas and Oklahoma, and it's going to be exciting to play against and play them.
When Mason Taylor's not playing football, what are you doing?
Playing video games. If not, whenever I get some free time, I like to go outdoors and play golf. So I like to golf.
Nuss said he was golfing. You golf with him?
Yeah, we golfed the other day. We golfed like a couple days ago. Yeah.
Who was better?
I got the same question over there. I won the last day, but I'm not good. I'm not as consistent.
You're not good?
No.
Come on, growing up in Florida, I mean, you need plenty of opportunities.
I know my dad can play pretty good.
There you go.
Well, as a kid, I was not into golf because I didn't have the patience for it. I hated waiting around, all that stuff. I hated it. So, but now as I've grown up a little bit, it's something good and fun to do with friends.
You said video games. Have you already gotten a shot of yourself on EA Sports NCAA football?
No, I'm actually going to play today whenever I get back. I pre-ordered it so we get it 3 days before it actually drops. So I'm going to play it tonight, hopefully.
It's kind of cool. We've waited 10 years to get the darn video game back, so it's kind of cool. I mean, a couple of years ago, you would have never been in it, so it's kind of cool to be in it, right?
No, it's awesome. It's an awesome opportunity, and NIL has helped us come to this point. It's awesome.
He is Mason Taylor, of course, of the LSU Tigers. Mason, best of luck this season, man. Thanks so much for taking some time, and go kill it, all right?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, more from SEC Media Days right after this. Coming up, more Locked On SEC. Thank you guys for making us your first listen every day. Shout out to everydayers. Still more to come here on the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. I want to remind you this episode brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Look, all throughout this summer, FanDuel lets you keep the sports going whenever you are in the mood. All you got to do is open the app, dream up any bets you are in the mood for. And all throughout the summer, FanDuel hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Just head to FanDuel.com and start making the most of your summer. We've been telling you guys, they got a lot of those week one lines up there right now at FanDuel.com. Live right now, SEC week one lines. If you like Clemson to cover the 13.5 against Georgia, look, Georgia keeps having some more off the field arrests. Maybe Clemson, this line might come down a little bit more. But Georgia minus the 13.5, if you think they'll cover that. If you like Vandy to keep it close with Virginia Tech, they are 13.5 point underdogs. You can get Vandy plus 13.5. Tennessee is 41.5 points favored against Chattanooga. I've seen some people saying, hey, maybe Chattanooga can keep that thing closer than that. Maybe you want to get Chattanooga plus the 41.5. Florida, 2.5 point home dog against Miami. Do you like the Gators and Billy Napier to start the season 1-0? You can get Florida plus 2.5. And how about Texas? Trying to cover a big number, 35.5 at home against Colorado State. Maybe you want to lead towards Colorado State to cover that big number. They've got all there right now at FanDuel. They're the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. And, of course, getting you ready for the start of the college football season. Roll along from SEC Media Days, catching up with different football players from all the different schools. And today, Kentucky is in the house as Mark Stoops and his crew roll on in. And when we talk Kentucky, we always know you're going to have a really good defense. And joining us now, one of those guys from the defense is De'Eric Jackson, the linebacker. Welcome in, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Man, it's crazy because we get to this point in the year and it's like, all right, football season is almost here. What's the offseason been like for you?
Just been with the team, bonding, just a lot of hard work, working in the weight room, stuff like that.
What was the spring like? Obviously, you guys get some big names back on this defense and a chance to really improve from last season and kind of take that big step forward this year.
Yeah, I think the main thing is us just going out there and just proving it. A lot of people have been saying we got a lot of experience. We just got to go out there and prove it. That's my whole mindset about it.
And it's, yeah, I look around the roster and a lot of senior. It feels like JJ's been here forever, but it's a lot of seniors. These guys, you all been around a while, and that veteran experience is always a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It's just good because a lot of the D linemen I came in with, and we was roommates, been with each other for a long time, and it's good.
What's been the focus of the defense? Has it been a kind of attacking approach, getting a little bit more physical, getting more tough, and more weight in the trench? You know, like what's kind of been the focus with this defense this offseason?
The stuff you said, and with Coach White, he just really trying to build us on our IQ of the game, and just really just focus on like certain downs, like fourth down or third down, what they're gonna run, first down, what they're gonna do, and stuff like that.
You bring in a couple of transfers. Jamin Dumas-Johnson, a big-time player from a really good program. What's he brought to the team so far?
He brought a lot of experience, a lot of winning culture. I've been learning a lot of stuff from him. I'm pretty sure you've probably been learning a lot of stuff from me, but he just brought a lot of a good winning culture to the team. There's a lot of stuff he do that I try to do because he just came from a two-time national championship team. So
yeah. Yeah, no, it's everybody's excited to see what he's going to bring to that defense along with yourself and so many other playmakers. What about the offense? Brock Vandagriff comes in, and I think a lot of us are wondering, you know, what's he going to be? But, I mean, you guys have had you went from Will Levis to Devin Leary and now another big-time guy that, you know, very highly touted and comes over from Georgia. But what'd you see from Brock in the spring? Brock
is very competitive. He's very competitive guy. He's got good leadership. I like the way how he led, just coming in. He's a good people person. Like we just sit down and talk sometimes because you know he's from Georgia, I'm from Georgia, but we just sit down and talk. He's a good guy. Like he's very competitive. I think he's gonna bring a lot to the team.
He's a little country too, right?
Mm-hmm, very country.
I remember the photo with the phone on the belt. Does he still wear that around?
He wear it all the time.
It's like an old man. Mm-hmm. And look, there's new everywhere on the offense. Ray Davis was one of the best rushers in the league last year, and now he's gone. You had a couple pieces here and there. What's the running back room looking like?
The running back room is gonna be good this year. They got a good good group of guys there. You got Chip, Demi. I think it's gonna be a good competitive room. I think all of them gonna play, so I think it's gonna be a very good room.
Give me a freshman, offense or defense, that kind of came in and is already kind of making a name for himself.
For offense, I got two. I got Harley and you got Harley Gilmore. I think when he came in early, he's shown like he done been here already like a year ahead of himself. But I think Harley's been a good one. And for defense, I think the D lineman we got, I can't think his name right off the top of my head, but
Brian Robinson?
Yeah, Brian Robinson.
Yep.
I think Brian Robinson, he came in, he's shown everybody what the hype was about. Very good in the weight room, strong already. I think they're gonna do good.
It's going to be fun to see. But by the way, you mentioned Gilmore, that receiving core. I mean, with having Dan Key back, who arrived on the scene as a freshman, having Berry and Brown. I mean, I look around that wide receiver room and say this is one of the deeper wide receiving groups that Kentucky's had.
I think they are very experienced now. And then you had Harley and a lot of guys in there. And like I said, for us, we got to go out there and just prove it. I just think they just got to go out there and prove it and just show what they're about. Because everything I see at practice, they do good. They just got to go out there and prove it.
What was your favorite moment from last year? Whether it was a tackle, whether it was a win, whatever it was. Give me a favorite moment for you personally from last year.
From last year, I think the Louisville game was the one of the high moments of our season, because we was kind of down in the middle of the year, and then we came back and won that game against a top 10 opponent. Because I also had my grandma came to that game. That was her last game she came to, because she passed away this past April.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, yeah, I think that was probably my favorite one.
That's always going to be a memory you'll stick with, and that game just always means a little bit more, right? I remember we had Will on, and Will, he threw down the upside down L. I mean, it always means a little more there. We're talking with Derek Jackson of the Kentucky Wildcats, and when you're not playing football, what are you doing?
Me personally, I'm very laid back. I like to just sit in the house. I got 2 dogs. I like to grill. I grill almost every day. That's really my priorities. I just grill every day, trying to find something new to grill, or trying to find a different grill to grill on, or certain stuff like that. Trying to go outside, start a fire, and grill on something. Just
what are we doing? Burgers,
everything.
Chicken,
everything.
Chicken takes a while.
Yeah, my favorite probably ribs.
Okay.
Because it take time, and ribs.
And you do pretty good ribs yourself?
Yeah, I think I do pretty good.
Okay. What kind of seasoning, sauce? Do you use sauce or no sauce?
I don't really like sauce like that. I'm really more of a dry rub.
Dry rub, there we go. Gotta go that route. What about, are you a video game guy at all?
Not really. I really can't get on the game, but lately I've been playing NCAA with my friends, just playing that online. So
how is it? I haven't gotten to play it yet.
I think it's cool just to see my face up there. I think it's cool just to see that I'm on a game.
Does it look like you?
Yeah, kind of a little bit.
Did they get the rating right? What's your rating?
Off the top of my head, I don't even know. I really didn't even pay too much attention.
I've seen some guys say, like, there's been some guys posting video of, like, them in the workout room going, you got me as an 89 straight. Look at this. Like, come on, man. It's a video game. They're just taking a guess.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right, what else do you do around Lexington when you're not playing football?
Around Lexington, I really just be chilling, trying to find somewhere new to eat, walking the dogs, and just
you don't
ride
horses?
Nah, I don't ride horses. I don't fool horses like that.
You go to the track at all?
Nah, I ain't never been since I've been there.
Oh, come on. You got to go to
Keeneland. I ain't never been,
Come on. How many years you been there now?
Been my 4 year. This will be my fourth year, and I've never been.
Keeneland's open every year.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll get you over there. He is Derek Jackson. Thanks so much for taking some time, man. Really appreciate it. Best of luck this season.
Thank you.
All right. More right after this. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Locked On SEC. Our thanks to our special guests for joining us at SEC Media Days, LSU tight end Mason Taylor and Kentucky linebacker Derek Jackson. Thank you guys for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Shout out to everydayers. Come on back and check us out all throughout this week. We're back to 5 days a week talking all things SEC and college football. And hey, for your second listen, check out our buddy Lance Daw over at Locked On Kentucky. He does a great job. And Matt Moscona back over at Locked On LSU doing that show as well. So thank you guys for making us your first listen. Go check out those guys. And we'll be back tomorrow right here on Locked On SEC talking all things Southeastern Conference.